hashtag creative witness and also Black Lives Matter. Something about it, I don't know, it felt important to stay in spite of the cold. It felt like something really powerful was going to happen. I didn't really know what to expect. Within the first hour, I mean, I'd already wept twice, comforted people, like just stood with people. People had a lot of really powerful things to say, and it was just really good to be there.
That's awesome.
Whether as an artist or as an audience member, it was just really, I'm really glad I did it.
So I think that artists have a unique responsibility to actually say something about what we see.
I'm a visual artist, and the best way to describe it is that I work with circles. I'm influenced a lot by medieval manuscripts, by Islamic architecture, geometry.
I'm a musician. I play things with strings, primarily violin, but also double bass, mandolin, little guitar, percussion. I sing. I teach children for a living, and it's really moving and magical to watch small developing minds change. We as artists are also teachers, and it's important to remember that every time you perform in front of an audience, you're also educating that audience in some way. You're leaving them with a message, and so I think we can draw a lot from the tools of teachers. I feel like art has a specific way of reaching a consciousness that is not necessarily there presented in their other sources of factual information. If someone is relying heavily on the news or the media or their television or even the internet, because let's face it, this giant broadband thing is actually pretty filtered into things you already want to see and hear. If this is your only means of interaction with these issues, you're either going to get one story or another, but it's unlikely that you're going to get a mixture of stuff, or maybe if you are, you might not actively seek out the debate.
I was actually working on a piece when everything went down with Ferguson and Larry Garner involved in protests, and it just so happened that I was working on a series which translated means out of darkness, light. And whenever we have something that's really dark and it seems like you can get lost in despair, as artists, it's our responsibility to show the light, to find the light in that darkness. And I think when we each do that and all the lights gather together, I think we have a real possibility of chasing out the darkness and bring about real change. So I believe that now more than ever.
I don't know what other people, but they made a really good comparison with like the balance of light and darkness in the world to the sky at night when there's dark. It's a lot of darkness, like not too much light, but what we need to realize is that there were fewer stars before, and that we just got to keep adding to the stars.
Nice.
Because they're not, I love that. I think it might have
Beautiful.
been.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it was Matthew McConaughey in that show that he like.
Wow.
It's like the finale. I know.
Wow, okay.
So
True
it wasn't
Detective?
really him. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
I was just
I'll
like,
watch it.
that's
I'll watch it.
right there. That's it right there.
That came out of, I was just in a really dark period. I was feeling just a lot of anger and a lot of tears and a lot of despair as a person of color and as a woman. You know, I was like, if I have a son, you know, is his life worth, what is his life worth?
Grew up in a middle class family. These are all things that are now allow me to sit back and seriously ask these questions of, what if I didn't have this? How many people don't have this? These things that I value very heavily, I want for everyone. And what can I do if somebody else has never had access to this, will never have access to this under the existing conditions that we live in? That seems unethical and wrong, and I want to do something about it.
How have you guys been together? I love your chemistry. Sorry.
Busted.
A little over 2.5 years.
I don't think we would be dating if I hadn't already had these thoughts.
That's true. Can I put you on blast?
It sounds like yes.
So one of the things I absolutely love about Rob is that he's always, like, his just awareness.
It's just, it comes out of logic. It comes out of reason and thinking about the world and how people are very, very similar. It's I'm fascinated by people who otherwise strike me as racist and bigoted who point out that racism is a social construct. I'm like, whoa, you're right. You know, colorblind, I get it. You know, they're sort of flipping it and using it inaccurately. Like, you know, the right idea is we should view each other as part of the same family, but still recognize that people are different. I'm a white male, so this is a position of privilege already in the society, and I'm wondering how I can use my position of privilege and power to reach audiences that might not otherwise listen.
I think it's if you just speak your truth and speak how you feel and you're authentic about it, and especially in terms of authentic about wanting to do something constructive, people will pick up on that. So that's really the most I think any of us can do, is to just say our piece as best as we can. And those who will listen will.
If the people who most need to hear a message don't want to hear it, how do you bring it to them? And how do you do so in such a way that they will not turn off? How do you orchestrate your art for cognition? How do you make your art mean something based on the minds you are trying to reach? I don't have the answers yet.
We will. That's awesome. Once again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure to meet you guys. I'm sure to keep in touch.